Hi, Jesse Williams with Case IH. In this video, we're going to go through and we're going to use the new automated kill stall procedure to kill stall the machine. Then we're going to get outside. We're going to open the machine up. We're going to take a look at what is going on as that crop goes through the machine. So for those of you out there with 250 series machines, any machine that has been updated since December 2022 with the newer software will have the kill stall procedure that will allow you to do that automated kill stall. So when we do our kill stall procedure, we want to get the machine up to capacity in our normal crop conditions in the field. Once we've done that, we're going to hit our back button to go in and get our procedures tab. Select our procedures, do the drop down for the kill stall, press OK, OK again, and we have kill stalled the machine. At that point, we're going to put the hydro handle back in neutral, bring the throttle back down, separator and feeder off, key off for 10 seconds, and then we can restart the engine and allow the machine to cool down, and then we will shut it off before we go around and do our checks outside the machine. Okay, so we did the automated kill stall procedure, and now I've opened up the left-hand side of the machine. We're going to take a look in here in the rotor area, and we're going to look at what's going on in the rotor, what's going on with the sieves as that crop is going through the machine. So the cool thing about doing the kill stall, it's like pressing the pause button on this machine. Shuts it down full, allows us to go in there, look and do some diagnostics and figure out what's happening with that crop as it goes through the machine. So we'll take a look at a few of the things I look at when I do a kill stall. So one of the first things I'm going to look at, if we look at our rotor, the front half of this rotor from here forward where we have the adjustable concaves, that's our threshing area. We need to do 100% of the threshing up there in the front of the rotor. So we want to come to the back of the rotor and we want to look for unthreshed grain. So in this case, I'm doing corn. I'm going to look in here and I'm going to see if I'm finding any cobs that still have kernels on them. This one's looking pretty good. Pretty well cleaned all the cob off. So we don't have an issue with our threshing there. The first time I did the kill stall, I was seeing a little bit in the back of the rotor, kind of a small cob out here. So we did tighten the concaves down a little bit. The next thing we're going to look at is we're going to come back here to the back and we're going to reach in and we're going to shake that crop mat with our fingers. I want to see if I'm finding any loose grain back there. If I'm finding loose grain at the very back of the rotor, in that last section of that separation grate, it's very likely that I could run that grain out the back of the machine and have rotor loss. So I didn't find anything there. I didn't find anything in the next one. I'm just going to work my way forward and see where can I start to find loose grain. So in this case, I'm really not seeing anything in the back of the rotor. We're pretty clean on loose grain in the back. That means we're doing a good job of getting that grain out. We are running automation and easy thresh. So when we get in this little bit drier hybrid over here on this side of the field, I'm seeing that it's speeding those veins up a little bit for me. There's some greener stalk, greener, higher moisture corn on the other side of the field. That's when I start to see maybe I get a little bit of rotor loss and automation slows me down. But the reason I want to do this check in the back as well as looking in the front to make sure I'm getting it all threshed as I come out of the front and go into the back is that gives me an indication with automation on how I should set that threshing condition. So if I was finding unthreshed in the back, once I've made my concave clearance changes, then I maybe want to go from that easy to that medium, bring that rotor speed up a little bit, close those veins down a little bit, make them run a little bit more aggressively. I can check it again. If I'm still seeing unthreshed or I'm finding loose kernels back at the back, I can go to the hard thresh. And that hard thresh will bring that rotor speed up, making it a little bit more aggressive threshing, giving it a little bit more centrifugal force to throw that grain out of the crop mat. It will also adjust those veins slower, holding that crop in there a little bit longer, which will both help with separation, as well as we come up to the front, we're adjusting the veins over the number 2 threshing grate. So it's going to help hold it in the threshing area longer as well. Now the last thing I'm going to look at inside is I'm going to look down on my grain pan. What does that mat of grain look like from left to right? And I want to see that my mat of grain is pretty even so that I'm feeding those sieves evenly. I can also verify that with my sieve pressure sensors if I look at my left and my right. So we got this machine dialed in. We've got a little bit of offset that is shifting the grain back from the right to the left just a little bit. Another thing that I'm going to take a look at when I do that kill stall is I'm going to look inside my tailings processor, see what's going through that tailings processor. So I'm going to drop the door off of that, and we're going to look and see. We've got a little bit of grain going through that processor. We got some little bits of cob, but we're not too bad. In this case, I may bump that tailing sensitivity up a little bit so that it is adjusting for that grain that's going through there. It's maybe not keeping the lower sieve as tight, which can send grain back through the processor, which if it doesn't need to go through the processor can lead to some additional damage in the crop.